Hello everybody, welcome back. It is a Wednesday, April 24th, and we are live right here on YouTube and Facebook, and we're streaming. So we got a great evening planned, even though I have no plan. But I know it's a plan to just chat with you guys and to really just kind of connect. I'm sure if you guys have got any questions, you will be dropping them down in the comments section below, letting me know what your questions are. We're open to pretty much everything and anything. We can talk about pop culture. We can talk about current events. We can talk about VEDA and what's been going on there. We can talk about theology. We can talk about Endgame. It doesn't really matter. If you guys have got questions, go ahead, drop them below. We're going to get started here. I know that we've got a few people that are already jumping on. Let's see here. We got Diana Gladney. You made it. It's great to hear. And we have got Jason, Melissa. Well, it's Jason, not Melissa. I kind of figured as much. I know Melissa's probably going to be watching before too long, and she's going to say, How did you know it wasn't me? I don't know. Sometimes I know these things. So that's kind of what's going on. So yeah, if you guys have got any questions as you're joining, make sure you drop in, you say hello, you say what's up. Would love to hear from you guys. I'm just going to double check my audio one more time to make sure that we're sounding great. Oh yeah, it sounds so good. So I had a little bit of an issue. The one thing with this microphone that I've got here, I've got the Shure PG42 USB mic. It is a discontinued microphone, and I'm hoping to update it to a newer Shure. I'm actually hoping I can get the SM7B before too long. But this one, the issue with it is it's got this little mic gain right on the side here. And part of the problem with that mic gain is it can be bumped very easily. And apparently it was bumped very easily. And I pretty much lost all my audio when I was getting ready to start this up. So the fact that we made it pretty well on time is essentially like a miracle in and of itself. So that's good. Okay, so we've got Charles. Hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Charles, now, if I remember right, you guys, are you out in Thailand right now? I was thinking that's where I wound up hearing something like that, or you had been serving at least in Thailand for a little while. So, yes, okay, so Melissa, you are saying that you are watching together. That is absolutely fantastic. I am glad that you are here. And if this system would support Bitmojis, I should probably put in that request. That would be really fun. I would have a bunch of Bitmojis for you guys. So, yeah, let's see here. So, okay, so Charles saying that you're serving in China. All right, well, that is fantastic. So, man, if you're there, that is, I think from where I'm at, if I remember right, that is exactly a 12-hour difference, maybe 13 hours. So, man, this is early morning for you guys. So there we go. Sonic Grace in the house. Hey, dudes and dudettes. Yes, hello. Good to see you. Glad you are here. Oh, guys, this has been an absolute fun month. I was just talking to my older brother earlier today and talking about this VEDA, what we've got going on, where I've been doing this vlog every day in April. We are essentially here. This is the 24th, which means that I have officially uploaded 24 videos so far, but you add in that we've had 4 live streams this month as well. I'm at currently 28 videos that I have uploaded to YouTube just this month alone. That's insane. That was biting off more than I thought I could chew, and I've been able to hold on to that. I've actually been able to kind of keep up with that type of a content so far. So that's kind of been really interesting. So, all right. So Charles, you're saying, yes, it's 6:39 a.m. Good morning, brother. Yeah, it's 5:37 here, or 5:39, I think, something like that. Whatever, 13 hours difference. So yeah, you guys are 13 hours ahead of us. So happy 25th to you, April 25th. I said it was the 24th, but for you, it is not. Yeah, no, this VEDA, this series that I've been doing has been very fun. It's been very enjoyable, and yet at the same time, it has been extremely challenging. It was one of the things that when I was talking to my brother, he had kind of mentioned that there were a few videos there where VEDA started to get pretty boring. And I have to say, I completely agree with him. I'm watching my videos, and obviously I tend to be maybe a little harsher critic than other people are. And so because of that, I often wonder if I'm being too hard on myself. And there were a few videos that I watched there, and they were good, but they just weren't as great as I would have appreciated or I was hoping for. And then the one that I uploaded today, actually, that one, especially when I was recording it yesterday, I kind of went back to the basics of how I do my vlogs, where it was one of those that I really wanted to just kind of take a moment, hit pause, and say, okay, what is the main point that I really believe God is trying to get through this video? And when I did that, I just took a moment to sit there and breathe and kind of reflect on it and get the idea of where he wants to go with this. Now, granted, it's answering a question that Jared had already put, Jared from A Bite of Brownie. And he gave me this question about embarrassing moments and how I deal with that type of a deal. And in just kind of talking to God, that moment of what do I do and how am I going to do this video? How am I going to get this across? What is it that you are wanting me to speak, God? And that just brief moment of just kind of stop, pause, reflect on what it is he's trying to say, and then go forward from that place. It made the actual recording process so much faster. And then the message and the continuity of it as it was coming out. And I was even able to do a couple different things that I hadn't done before. So I was actually vlogging yesterday with this. It's the GoPro Hero 7 Black. This, now granted, it's not black. This is the Dusk White edition. But I wound up vlogging with this yesterday, and I knew I was going to be walking, and the last time I walked around town, I was vlogging, and all of a sudden it was just, the footage was a little shaky. I don't think you guys notice it as much as I do, and that's probably because what's normally a 5 to 10 minute vlog, I'm spending about an hour watching this stuff, hour and a half sometimes editing it, so I'm watching the footage over and over again. And it was a little too shaky when I used my M50 with just the GorillaPod. So I decided to use the GoPro Hero 7 Black. The problem with that thing is that its audio is not great. So instead, to kind of counteract the audio, I wound up using this thing, and we'll see if it can kind of focus on this at all. So this is the Rode, where are we at? Maybe, maybe not. It might not like it because it's so close, but so this is the Rode SmartLav Plus, and I have the Rode Invisilab on it. And so with the Invisilab, I'm able to plug this directly into my smartphone, and then just did the old, clap snap type of a trick so I could line up the audio and went from there. And honestly, I think the audio came out pretty good. It seemed like it might have been just a little hot and peaking at times, but it did a pretty good job. Granted, with my daughter sitting there next to me and we were kind of walking and both talking, I don't think it was as good picking up her voice, but that's also not really what that mic is designed for. But I think the audio was much better, and I'm actually looking forward to next week. I've got a couple other pieces of equipment that are going to be coming in to hopefully help with the GoPro. One of them, I just ordered the Rode Wireless Go, which is the Rode's new wireless system. I'm excited to test that out, not only with the GoPro, but honestly for footage at church. So when I've been recording my sermons, it's been difficult because I've been having to use the SmartLav Plus, and again, sync up the audio in post, which can be done. It just becomes quite difficult. So it's something that I'm looking forward to, that Wireless Go, clip it and just run with it. And the audio is great, but I also ordered a new cage for the GoPro. And as soon as Rode catches up on their back order of their microphone adapters, then I'll have an external mic that I can run off that as well, which will do a lot better in picking up my voice. So that's something that I'm really excited for. Just because I'm always trying to bring up the quality. I want to make sure that the audio and the video that you guys are hearing, the lighting, that everything is going good, and it makes it an easier viewer experience on that. So there you go. So you guys are being kind of quiet in there. It looks like I just saw Shelly join in. Hello, Shelly. Good to see you. But yeah, if you guys have got questions, feel free to drop them, any questions you've got, in the comments section below. Diana, so do you have to convince Jen of all of these gear buys? Yes. Some of it I do, some of it I don't. If it's a small item, we've kind of had this thing for many years where if all the bills are paid up, and it's a relatively small purchase, somewhere between that $20 to $50 range, we don't really need to ask each other for that. Anything above that, obviously we do. So there are times when it's got stuff like the Rode Wireless Go. I remember talking to her, I kind of laid down on the We were laying on the bed, and I just pulled out the phone, and I was like, hey, I just need you to see this. Now, she had saw that I was looking at the Deity Connect, and that was the wireless system that I was really thinking about. Now, that's $400+. Now, granted, it's got 2 transmitters, but it's also a big body pack. And I have issues even with those big body packs being at church and that type of a functionality. So because of that, I really wasn't really digging on that. I was hoping that we could get something different. And so when the Wireless Go came out, I was like, are you okay with me doing that? And like I mentioned, I'm hoping to update this with the SM7B. She understands, especially because of this. This is our bedroom. It's not a treated room. And in order to eliminate a lot of the background noise, I've got presets and filters on this mic. So because of that, she understands kind of the overall concept of it. And as long as there's money in the account, as long as all the bills are paid up, as long as we're paying off our debt on our, road to financial freedom and really just being debt free, as long as we're doing all of that stuff and we've got the extra, she's cool with it. So that kind of works out. I know there are things that she likes buying as well. So it's pretty much a give and take. Although I would say that I'm probably spending a whole lot more money than she spends. And I think she would definitely say that that is a fair assessment. So, all right. Yeah. Now, one of the other things that I was wanting to kind of, hey, Shelly, one of the other things that I was really wanting to kind of chat with you guys about, and this is going to be kind of interesting because, all right, we'll put this in here. As long as I get new workout weights, with a wink, that's that. So we've got our own different pleasures that we're kind of working with. So, okay. So one of the other things that I wanted to chat about, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about this in tomorrow's vlog, but it was a question that Jared had asked me today, and it's such a big question that I don't think I can kind of consolidate it in just a simple vlog. So I figured, you know what, let's try to talk a little bit about it tonight. And also I wanted to get some of the kind of feedback off you guys if I can. Now, the question that he had asked me in today's video was about those moments where you have a plan and it's like, you've got the best intentions, you've got this plan and it's been purposed on your heart and you think you know where you're going with things, but all of a sudden it's like, things just can't and don't go according to plan. So you've got to throw the plan completely out the window and just figure things out. And he was wanting to know if there was ever those times. So see you later, Shelly. Wanting to know if there was ever those times that I've had those moments in my life, which obviously, yes, I've had those moments, had them quite frequently. They happen all the time, honestly, when preaching. And I think mentioned this. I think I briefly mentioned this in the vlog. So what happened was last Sunday was Easter Sunday. And I had this message that I've kind of had the overall idea for probably 3 months at least, kind of knew where I was wanting to go. And then I've had all of it completely done for at least 3 weeks. And then here we are, it's 11 o'clock at night, Saturday night, and I'm just looking over my notes, one last little run through, and I wasn't feeling it. I really wasn't. And it was like, I had this plan. So then just kind of talking to God and saying, what is it that you would really like me to speak tomorrow? And that became a little bit of an issue because it was like what I felt he was wanting me to speak to the people was not a message that you would speak to the people. I was really thinking along lines of conventional wisdom that when you're preaching and it's on one of these natural holidays where it's a lot more people will show up to church, typically speaking, those type of days are, like Easter and Mother's Day, around like back to school time, Labor Day, there's always a little bit of a surge. And then of course, Christmas, these are kind of like 4 natural momentums out there where more people will attend. And so I was thinking about that and thinking, okay, well, if there are going to be more people, obviously I need to put a more gospel eternal life focused message on this to really kind of draw people in. And that was, I was doing a message on prayer and really how to pray like Jesus, but it was going to tie that in. However, that's not what God wanted. And so it was like everything had to change last minute. And when I was really just kind of having this moment of prayer, reflection, talking to God, and I'm not talking big, loud, booming, audible voice that all of a sudden my ceiling opens up and the clouds just, part, and here comes this ray of light shining. Not anything like that. It's that still small voice on the inside. I get this impression that this is the direction God's leading me. And I really felt like he was telling me to think about and look at how Jesus preached to the multitudes. Because if I'm planning on multitudes coming in, if I'm planning on more people on Sunday, that's kind of how he wanted me to go. So obviously I did that. And what I saw, I did not like, because I sat there and I looked at, two of Jesus' popular messages when he preached to the multitudes. And I saw it there, I want to say out of Luke 8, and then I think Luke 15 was the other one, or maybe it was 14, where one, he's laying out the parable of the sower. And then two, he's basically telling us that if you want to be his disciple, you have to hate your mother and father and brother and sisters and even your own life, take up your cross daily and follow him. And I'm thinking, these are the messages that you really want me to speak? I mean, these are kind of hard messages. And it was a difficult thing for me to try to do that, because everything inside me, everything inside my mind, everything inside conventional wisdom that I've been taught about preaching is you want a message that's going to help draw people in. And yet I really felt like in order to do that type of a message, it was going to be more me trying to beg people to give their life to Christ, versus the way Jesus kind of laid this out is you should be begging him to follow him and give your life to him because of what he's done on the cross. And it was like, okay, so that's the message I'm going to put out, which, I mean, I wasn't quite sure that was the best route. I wasn't quite sure I liked that idea. However, I did that and I put it out there. And I mean, a couple of you guys that are in the chat, that you were able to listen to that message and you were sitting there, and I got a lot of positive feedback that I wasn't expecting. People saying that's exactly what I needed to hear. Some of them saying I was confused because as you started this and you're talking about how those that, sowing the seeds, like those that's on the wayside, that if they don't get it, well, too bad you don't get it. And they felt like that was them at first. But then the more the message progressed, the more they felt themselves drawing close to Jesus and really trying to understand, which obviously was the whole point of that message and that story that Jesus even told in the first place, that we want the good ground rather than the wayside. And the good ground are those that are really trying to soften their hearts to receive and understand everything that he's trying to say. And so it was great to hear that type of a testimony, that type of, I guess, positive feedback on it. And then others that, I mean, this one lady watching it that are sitting there in the sermon saying, Josh reminded me of those old time preachers that just kind of came out with all the fire and just the hard hitting truth. And it was refreshing because that wasn't what I had in mind. It wasn't according to my plan. It was actually like the opposite of what I had planned, but it worked out. And that was just really exciting for me to see that. And then, of course, with Jared asking that question, have you had those moments? Yeah, I've had a lot of those moments. And I think that a lot of times that Sonic Grace got to go to Bible study. Great, brother. Have fun over there. A lot of times with these moments where it's like, we think we know the direction and we have a plan, but all of a sudden it's like, it doesn't go according to plan. And that's even if God throws something in. Now, when God throws it and he changes it up, it's a lot easier to manage because you realize that his ways are higher than our ways. His thoughts so much greater than ours. So those make it a little bit easier to deal with. The difficult time becomes when it's not that it's not that this was God changing things up at the last minute or anything like that, or that we missed it, but all of a sudden it's just all these obstacles against us, and this is what we planned, this is what we purposed, and that doesn't happen. That becomes difficult to deal with. And that's where I still haven't even recorded for tomorrow's vlog. I've got some ideas that I'm working with on this, but it's one of those that when you think about that, how do we deal? How do we respond in those moments? How should we as Christians respond? I mean, how should we act when everything that we were planning, everything that we had, all of our agenda doesn't go according to plan? I mean, fortunately for me, it's like I kind of do this every single week. In a smaller context, I come on here for these live chats. I come on for the Q&As and the live streams. And my intention is, hey, I'm going to get a whole bunch of questions and we're just going to be able to run with them. I'll just answer question after question. This is going to be perfect. And a lot of times that doesn't happen. It takes 20, 30 minutes before you guys start putting some questions in there. So that means I've got essentially monologue for the first little bit, or I've got to try to rethink this whole thing, which can be a good thing, I guess, because it's like with this live stream in particular, we're talking about this. It's one that I am working on some ideas, and I'm wrestling with some ideas and how to do them with, of course, keeping the quality that I want. And it's like, how do I implement a different type of format that could still work for this type of a live stream? And eventually I would really like it to also work as a podcast. So it's kind of both, where it's more of a live stream recording of a podcast. And that's kind of what my ultimate goal and hope is for this type of a live stream. I've talked about that in the past. And yet every time it's like I have this idea, it's going to start beginning of the year, January 1st, we're going to kick this off. It's going to work. That doesn't happen. Okay, May 1st or March 1st, that's what we're going to do. This is going to be the plan. That doesn't happen. And then you got VEDA rolling around. It's like, yep, there's no way I'm going to be able to get this all squeezed in. There's a lot of these things happen. And I constantly think about that. How should we respond? I mean, how do we respond gracefully in those situations? What should our response be? How should we be able to deal with these things? Yeah, it's kind of an interesting idea, something, like I said, that I am still thinking about. It's, yeah, I mean, how do we do that? So, okay, Jason, Melissa, great sermon. Melissa, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, you guys, I mean, were a couple of them that I was thinking about that you did give some good feedback on that. So yeah. Diana, my hardship is the canceling off what I thought I was going to do, accepting and obeying. Man, sister, if there's not a more truthful statement, that's it right there. It really is. Being able to sit there, I think this is right. I think this is what I'm supposed to do. But then maybe that's not what I'm supposed to do. And that's hard. Now, I also sit there and I think about this, I guess, from trying to think about it from God's perspective, where he sees so much more than I will ever be able to see. He knows all of the possible scenarios and outcomes. He's got all knowledge, and I have a limited knowledge. And because of that, I often wonder if sometimes I'm not working with all the information. And if I had more information, would I do it like God would do it? Well, yeah, obviously, I think that's definitely the case. And I can honestly sit there and think about that in the context of my overall channel, online digital ministry here, where my initial thoughts for this, when I was kind of surveying the landscape, looking at what other people were doing out there, looking at what was popular and trying to figure this out, my first thoughts was that what I should do is talking head teaching style videos. It's like, that's what I needed to do. I just needed to kind of sit here and just preach the word, Just preach the word and it'll all work. And what I quickly found out was that those videos were not really resonating with people. It's not that they were bad, but it wasn't me. It wasn't really comfortable. And then I started to get into a little bit more of the vlog. I mean, honestly, the first YouTube video I ever recorded was a vlog. It was my daughter's birthday last year. And so I recorded that one, but I had no idea what I had. I didn't really know. And again, when I say vlog, I'm thinking like a lifestyle, daily, in the life of, that type of a vlog. And I had all this footage and I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know how to craft a story in that fashion, how to tell anything. So I wound up creating, I think, 5 videos, and they were all just kind of like me sitting in front of the camera and just talking about different things. And it worked and it was okay, but it wasn't as good as it should have been. And it wasn't as good as it could have been. And it wasn't until I uploaded that first vlog that all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait, I can communicate a story through this, and it's more visually appealing to me. It's something that I enjoy a little bit more because of my personality. There are other people out there that I want to see them setting and talking and teaching. That is them. That is their strength. And so I want to see different people in their own strengths. So for me, I wasn't realizing how much me just giving a glimpse into my life and just kind of talking people through it and responding to, hey, here's something we're doing and here's how I deal with this. Here's something that I've experienced and here's how I responded to it. You know, that's kind of the thing that I think about. And it's just like, I'm glad that I made that change, but it was not my initial plan. It wasn't my initial thing. So Diana saying, what's funny is when I found you through Trey's videos, I searched your content and it was your vlog that made me subscribe. I really wanted to see more vlogging pastors. That's what I connected with. Yes. And I'm so glad you said that. I actually, here's one of the interesting things. I mean, Trey has this vlog your ministry, and I know I've talked about it before and I've been a part of it and I'm still a part of it. He has what he calls the cohort, where it's just a group of different people that are trying to learn the art of vlogging in a ministry context. And so we've got people that are pastors, missionaries, youth pastors, lay leaders, just a whole different gambit of those that are in ministry trying to vlog for that purpose. And it's been really interesting to see how that develops and how that comes out. And I was so glad that he was doing it, because through that time, I mean, when I first found out about it, I was like, yes, I have to be a part of this, because that is something that I've seen myself being able to connect with so many more people and really just show pastors in a new light, in a more relatable light. I think oftentimes we kind of forget that, you know, we see pastors on, you know, Sunday mornings. We see them maybe on the Wednesday nights. We see them behind a pulpit for the most part, or we'll see them in a strict ministry context. And so we think that ministry is just inside those church services or at hospitals or home visits, the welfare type checks. We think that that's what pastors' jobs are. And yet, because we equate that with ministry, then when you get a pastor like myself trying to tell the whole congregation that you're all called to ministry, we've all been given the ministry of reconciliation, there's this disconnect because people can't relate to, you're in ministry, but you say, I'm supposed to be in ministry. I see what you're doing in ministry. I don't do that. And that's where I think us as pastors, as ministry leaders, even being able to use this type of a format to vlog and just show our everyday life and how that can be a ministry, all of a sudden, I think it starts to open people up. And I've had several pastors just in the last couple of weeks that have reached out to me. They've been either starting a new channel or wanting to start a new channel, or even wanting to take their channel that they've already got in a different direction, where they're doing more of the talking head style, and they're just kind of like, maybe I should do some more of the vlogging. And my first response to anybody, especially those in ministry, or and it doesn't have to be pastoral ministry. I'm not talking fivefold ministry. Any single Christian that is really wanting to put content out there and thinking about vlogs, yes, absolutely. That's my first response. Try it. See if it works. See if it's something you're comfortable with, but give it some time to try to develop it. It's going to be new. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be a little different, but you've got to try this out and really see where it goes. So that's kind of the thing that I've been excited for, because people are able to see things, in just a new lens. So, okay. So Diana's saying, yep, it's like being a kid seeing your teacher in the store and realizing they aren't so bad. I love that. Yes. That is definitely true. It's funny. You know, I think I've shared this in the past that I've done school bus driving, and I'm doing a whole lot less of it. I honestly can't remember right now when the last bus I actually drove was, which isn't a bad thing because I've got so much on my plate. But one of the things that I always found fascinating was when I was driving a regular route bus and I would be around here in town, it never failed. I couldn't go anywhere in town without kids from my bus seeing me. And they were always just kind of shocked. They're like, well, that's Mr. Josh? I mean, what's he doing here? And why isn't there like a big yellow bus that surrounds him? And there was just this odd thing. But I mean, my wife even made mention of this, where we would go to the swimming pool here, and I had a hard time playing with my own children in the pool because all of these other kids would just come flocking up to me and wanting to play. And part of that is just my personality, but part of it is also they had seen me in this role and now I was in a different role, and they wanted to be able to, interact with that as well. So yeah, that's a fascinating thing that I've absolutely loved. Okay, so I had this. Oh yeah, so when I was talking about the vlog and the connection, like take this back to my brother. I was talking to him earlier today, and he had mentioned, especially like today's vlog that I did, where it was just very relatable. And he enjoyed it. There were a couple things that he was kind of a little concerned about that Jared might not take the right way, but knowing Jared, he's fine. He understood it. And it wasn't anything ill-willed by it at all. But the thing that he really has enjoyed out of this, and I've heard this from several other people, especially on this vlog pastor series that he and I are doing, where we're asking each other questions back and forth. And part of that is me getting to know him better, him getting to know me better, but also all of us getting to know each other better. And that process has made two different pastors, one in Iowa, one in Texas, a lot more relatable and really just a lot more human. It's helped us connect with people a little bit more and show people a different side of how God works in our lives, and to really kind of show that you don't have to be all, suit, tie, buttoned up when going to church all the way throughout the week, because it's not so much about what's on the outside as much as what is on the inside. And so through these daily vlogs, we're able to show our hearts, that new heart that has been made new in Christ. And that's something that, I love this process. And I really do wish that more people would see that and experience that, and more pastors start to do this. It's part of what our culture is. They've shifted into this video format, and I think that we just got to embrace it and really just kind of run with it. So, all right, Charles sitting here. I like that. It allows people to see that full-time ministers are humans too, and that it's okay to have fun as a Christian. And I also love how your vlog really promotes family. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate those type of comments because it's spot on. That is exactly what I've kind of hoped for in this, that they could see that I'm a human being. oftentimes, and I've said this to our church, especially when new people have come into our church, kind of ask them what they're looking for in a church and everything, and make sure that they have some solid expectations. The expectation they need to have is that every week I'm going to be striving to present the Bible in a real, truthful, and relatable way. But I am a human being, and there may be things that I say that I later disagree with. I'll do my best to make sure that doesn't happen, but I am a human and I make mistakes. And to let people know that if you're looking for a church that is perfect, please do not come to ours. And really, don't look for any church, because as soon as you have found a perfect church, it was made imperfect by you showing up. Because really, we're all imperfect beings, and there isn't going to be a perfect church until the perfect one returns. So that's kind of where I've taken this. And talking about the family, which I know on the dialogue screen, guys, it doesn't really show up, but it says, I also love how your vlog really promotes family. And I do love that aspect. It's something that I've tried to do a little bit more of. They are my family. They've got their own unique personalities. And yet at the same time, I really see our family unit as a whole, in the same way that I see church, one body made up of many members. And that's kind of the thing that I want to get across, where each of my kids, some of what their personality is reflects mine. A lot of their personality reflects God's. And I also believe that husband and wife relationship, when man and wife, when the two become one, I truly do believe that is the best image that the world is ever going to see of God until he returns. I think that that's the whole reason that he set it up in the first place. I mean, going back to Genesis and realizing that and God created man in his own image, male and female, he created them in his likeness. I really believe that that's how you see the unity and what God really wants in people to get out of his personality. Personality may not be, and out of his attributes, and out of his likeness. So I truly believe that works. And then when you bring in the children into that mix, it adds that extra layer. So yeah, I absolutely love it. And so I'm so thankful that you had mentioned that, because it does really add some of that confirmation that we're kind of on the right track. So Diana, yeah, now I feel convicted about vlogging because I keep not doing it as delaying. Yeah, so Diana and I didn't mean this to kind of draw it on you, but I have seen some of those comments that you've left there, and you've talked about doing the vlogging, which I think, honestly, I think that vlogging format is great. I love everything that you're doing so much. I'm there in the comments. I'm checking things out. I'm hopping on the live streams when I can, because I love your content, love supporting you, because what you're doing is it's great. While it's not overtly Christian material like some people would think, it is Christian. It is, because you are a Christian. You're the one that's Christ-like, and your personality is already coming out on your live streams and on the videos you're producing right now. I would love to see more of it come out in the vlogs and things like that. And yet the vlog, it's a different beast. It's always awkward, just sitting there holding out a camera that's looking at you, especially when you're walking around in public. I mean, in the confines of my home, that's easy. The only people that I had to convince that this was okay was, the 5 that live here. But then trying to go out in public, and it never fails. Every single time I'm out in public, I'm getting looks, I'm getting stares, I'm getting questions, I'm getting glances, and I love it. I've come to the point where I love it now, because I'm able to then, those that talk to me, able to talk to them about this. It was actually, I think it might have been this week or over the weekend. It was one of the recent vlogs where I was walking uptown and went into the coffee shop up here, went into Mayberry's, and the lady behind the counter, she had asked me, she's like, so what's with the camera? What's with the camera? What's going on? So I told her that I'm vlogging and this is a digital ministry that I do. And so I was just very upfront about here's what I do. And she's like, well, what do you mean digital ministry? And so then it's like, well, I'm trying to just share God's love and encourage people to live by faith using video platform and using social media, primarily through YouTube, but also through Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, really wanting to leverage those platforms. And I understand the power of video. And so it's like, I'm going to put my face out there. Some people, they won't come to church because they don't relate. And they have a hard time and they've got these thoughts and these preconceived notions. This is just a way for me to kind of put this out there. And whether they ever attend my church or not, it's a way for them to see a pastor in a whole new light and then open up the possibilities in their minds that maybe it's okay for me to check out a new church because maybe if this pastor's like that, that one could be similar. Maybe he's just real. And so that's kind of the whole thing that I love about this. But it's also able for me to just relate to people on a whole new level, and for them to kind of see things. Yes, the analytics side, yes, it does build the subscriber base, and yes, it does open people to the possibilities of that, and it's a great conversation starter. Ultimately, it just gives me another means to help glorify God and just really sit there and show people that here's a completely different way that you can just serve God and just love him. And so, yeah, I'm all about that, Diane. That. I mean, do it. Just grab that camera, set it up on a little tripod and start walking around and trying it. And realize that, like with everything, so here's the thing, Diana, you've been doing this for such a long time that you've got the videos under your belt. You've got the experience there. And so you know that the more you do it, the better you get. But when you started doing it, it wasn't as good as you would have hoped. Some people would even say it's not good. This I agree is not that it with this sauce. This I agree was to what I was saying about just kind of putting it out there. But yeah, it's one. I mean, I look back on my first videos, the first couple setting down videos, not good. The first vlog with Micah's birthday, not really good. My first live stream, not good. But now that I've done them, and now I've got the experience and the consistency under my belt, now all of a sudden they're good. And I think they keep getting better. Which, hey, by the way, I don't know if you guys realize this, but I have crossed the 100 video mark, which is just absolutely amazing. I don't know if I can even pull this up and find out where I'm at. But yeah, I'm well over 100 videos now, which is amazing because I'm not even at a whole year in doing this channel yet. I'm actually, I think, I don't know, 2-3 weeks away. If I remember right, it was May 11th or May 12th. May 12th it was. That was when I uploaded my first video. And so I am currently at, looks like TubeBuddy is telling me 107 videos that I have uploaded. 107 videos, not quite in a year. And on that type of a ramp up, I mean, I've got 6 days left in this week. I'm going to be pretty close to like 120 videos in a year, which is just mind-boggling to me. I was hoping to hit 100. That was one of my early goals. We all set these goals, YouTubers do, of we've got a type of view goals that we would want, and we want subscriber goals. And I think those are good goals to have, but I rather make goals that I can control. And so for me, it was like, I wanted to make sure that I had 100 videos in the year. I wanted to be able to set up different affiliate and even potentially some sponsorship stuff, which I do have those affiliate things that are going, and they're going pretty well. Not great, I mean, in the big scheme of things, but they're gaining. And so it's little things like that are helping to support this ministry that I absolutely love. But this video, I mean, just the videos, 100 videos is amazing. And I wound up mentioning this with Jared just the other day. He had asked me, he said, what's your goal for year number 2? And honestly, my goal for year number 2, if I did 100 videos in year 1, I want 200 videos in year 2, which is a huge undertaking, and I get that, but man, I'm going to get it. I'm definitely convinced I'm going to get it, which I know there are going to be some people here in about a week that are going to be disappointed because VEDA is coming to an end, and that means my daily vlogs are going away. But because I have set this goal for 200, I'm looking at least 3 videos a week that you're still going to get me. So it's just going back to like halftime. And even at that, in order to do that, hey, Robert, right here, getting better all the time. Thank you so much, brother. Even with that, in order to really ramp up on the schedule that I want and to be able to accomplish that 200 video goals for year number 2, I'm going to have to do some more daily challenges. So you can pretty much count on, I will be doing VEDA again next year. I will be doing Vlogmas again this year. And I'm actually planning on Vlogust. And for those that don't know, VEDA, vlog every day in April. Vlogust is vlog every day in August. And Vlogmas is vlogging every day from December 1st through Christmas. And so that's going to be one that I'm doing that. I think that gives me, if my math remembers right, like 86 videos right there. Then you figure if I do a live stream every single week, roughly 50, 52, depending on if I even took a couple weeks off from that. And I'm already at like 130 plus there. So all that leaves me is like 2 other videos a week that I really just need to put out. So I think I can do this. I really think I do. I'm looking forward to the challenge. And primarily, again, with my whole channel, with all of this digital ministry, it's all about really just encouraging you guys to live by faith. And I believe that by showing more of how I do it, it's going to help encourage more of you to do it as well. So again, that's kind of where I'm going, where I'm seeing this. Like I mentioned, I do hope to, in the coming weeks, to be able to adjust this format with the live stream. We're going to be trying some things out. I'm going to be leaning on you guys heavily for some of your feedback. And some of that, I'm even going to be doing some polls with things that I would want to be doing, some polls or questions maybe. And I'll be doing those on Instagram, most likely. So if you guys aren't already following me over on Instagram, you should do that. That is at Joshua Verwers. So you can find me there. And I'll be doing some stuff here in the next coming weeks, probably with some like Instagram stories, really just trying to get some feedback from you guys, wanting to know, what if we try this? What if we try that? And once I start to implement it here with these live streams, that's where I'll really be asking you as well, you know, hey, make sure you go check out the new poll. Let me know what you think. So I'm excited for the direction this is going. It's definitely been enjoyable. I'm seeing consistent growth and health with this channel, with this ministry all across the board. So I'm excited with where we're at. I'm excited with where we're going. And it's been absolutely a wild ride, and it's been amazing. I think I've still got 2 more live streams before we hit that 1 year mark, and it's going to be fun. So I'm looking forward to that. But I really do think that by the time I get to starting year number 2, that's my hope, that in the next 2 weeks even, I'll have some more format to these type of streams and hopefully be able to kind of set that up for a live podcast recording. So that's what I got, guys. That was most of what it is. We just rambled on for, a long time. So that is good. I'm so thankful for each and every one of your support. I absolutely love each and every one of you. You guys are the best. You've been so encouraging, so supportive this entire ride through. Make sure that if at any point in time you guys have any questions that you want me to answer, whether it be in a vlog or whether it be on the live stream, just let me know. You can reach out to me. I'm on all the socials at Joshua Verwers. You can pretty much connect with me on any of them. I will say I probably spend the most amount of time over on Instagram and Twitter. So you can catch me there. But I'm still on Facebook and on YouTube, obviously, and I do spend a lot of time there. So wherever you're comfortable at, wherever you want to connect with me at, go ahead and do it. And yeah, we can continue the conversations and we can kind of set things up for some future streams. So thank you so much, all of you, for being here. Thank you for joining. I'm going to go ahead and sign out. But before I do, and I don't think I've done this in the last couple of weeks, but I just want to close us in prayer, and then I'm going to get rolling because we got home group tonight. So, Father, I just thank you so much for the continued support of each and every one here. I thank you that you are using them to really be a source of blessing and encouragement for me. And I thank you for that, Father. I continue to just pray for them. I ask you, Father, that you would bless each and every one of them in a mighty way. Do a mighty work inside their lives so that they can't help but to see your fingerprints all over the things that are happening. Show them your goodness, show them your glory, and draw them into a much deeper, fulfilling, and lasting relationship with you. Reveal yourself to them in a deeper way. And so I thank you for that. I give you all of the honor, all of the praise. This whole thing, it belongs to you and it's for you. And it's in Jesus' mighty name that I pray. Amen. Well, guys, thanks again. Thanks so much for being here. We will be back in the morning with a new vlog for VEDA, so you can check that out at 8 a.m. If you guys are not already subscribed to A Bite of Brownie in their channel, head over to their YouTube channel. If you're on mine on YouTube, you can pretty much click any of the Vlogpaster series and you'll find a link to their channel right there. Make sure you subscribe each and every day. We're asking each other questions back and forth, and we got another week to go. So I'm excited for this. I'm having a blast. And until then, I just want you all to stay blessed and enjoy God's best.